Welcome to a month in my reading life. Good morning and welcome to day 4/5. This is Monday and I'm going to talk about what's happening today. I don't have a lot on my schedule today outside of work. I don't have a lot of extra stuff. I do have a new karaoke cardio class that's happening this afternoon with Encanto music, and so I'm really excited about that. And then I'm going to go play bunco tonight. So I will be throwing in a couple of clips of those things, and then I'll be back tomorrow to talk to you about the reading that I got done. I'm still working on these 3 books physically: The Book of Cold Cases, The Secret Life of Bees, and Stories for Night and Some for the Day. So I'm still working on those. I'm going to be adding in the first book in the Night Angel trilogy, which I don't know what it's called, something about shadow. And so I'll be adding that in today because my in-person, well, now it's on Voxer, it used to be in-person book club, is reading this, the first book at least, but I know we're going to end up reading the others, and so I just bought the trilogy all together. So anyway, I'm going to be trying to squeeze that into at least a few chapters. The chapters are really short. A lot of people are already through chapter 5, so if I have enough time, I'll try to get through chapter 5 today. And then I will just continue to read A Gentleman in Moscow. I think I've got about 7 listening hours left of that. So depending on what time I get in bed and how long I can lay there and read, I may be able to finish that one today, but probably not. And then I think I'm going to get Django to pick my next book. I figured out how I'm going to do it. I just have to implement it. And then I also have another idea for how Skeeter is going to pick my books, because she's really motivated by balls. And so I think I have an idea of how I can get her to go chase a ball and pick a book at the same time. But anyway, we'll get there when we get there. I'm not going to rush everything. It's only the 5th. So that's it. And I'll be back tomorrow morning to let you know how today went. So I didn't make it until tomorrow before you saw me again. I every day try to fill in my reading journal. This one only has room for 100 books, and this is book number 90 for this year, but this is the Origin and Death, and so I just took the time to fill out a few things that I fill out on there, and then I pretty much copy all of this stuff onto the call pile that's online. And one of the things that I want to do this month is share my first quarter of the year, the first quarter reading stats from the call pile. And so later this month, we're going to be making that video. And I think I'm just going to put it out as a separate video because I don't want it to get mixed up in all the VEDA videos. And so I think that's what I'm going to do, is just make it its own video. But anyway, I do that every day, just update the reading journal. So I added in the Origin and Death, which is the first book that I've finished. And also what I need to update is that book filled a prompt for my Aurelium reads. And I haven't talked about that a lot, but I have 2 characters that have joined, that I created for the Aurelium classes. I don't know what it's called. I don't know what the whole thing is, but it's Aurelium is the school that my characters are going to. It was all created by G at Book Roast. I'll put her link below because it's amazing. But anyway, one of my characters, Adrian, I'll pop up her thing here. And this book that I just read solves one of the prompts for the class that takes place in the future. I think it's the psionics class, but anyway, the book has to take place in the future, and Origin and Death does that. So there that is. Also, this covers my read for the A-Star Reads prompt from her Game of Life, where we had to have a doctor because there's one specific doctor in all of these books. Her name is Dr. Mira, and she is in all of the in-depth books. And so I didn't realize it, but she was actually playing a very prominent role in this book, and so did doctors in general, since the victims were also doctors. And so it was just really good to fit Amy's pick for us in her game, that her TBR Game of Life that she does to determine her TBR. She always picks a a card for the viewers. And so then she offers suggestions. And I did go ahead and put her middle grade suggestion at the bottom of my TBR because I have so far read every middle grade that she's suggested. And I didn't want to not do it, but I already had a lot of books on here. So I wanted to go ahead and get the prompt done. And then if I have time, I'm going to slip that middle grade book that she recommended in the bottom. You'll see it when I get there. But I just wanted to jump in and do a quick update. I have not done any reading today except for my short story. I've already read it because I read it first thing in the morning. On Mondays also, I didn't tell you this, but my 14-year-old son loves to go grocery shopping. I know. And he's 15, by the way, not 14, but that's also weird. So on Sundays, we make our grocery list. Everybody in the family says what they need, and we all put it on the grocery list. And then I take him up there and drop him off. Now, normally, I would drop him off and come home and try to get a little bit of work done. And then I would go back and pick him up because I have to go in and pay for everything and help him, get it all together. And then there's usually some things that he can't find, so I help him do that. But anyway, what I have been doing the last couple of weeks is I have been taking books with me and just sitting in the parking lot and reading while he goes in and shops. So that is, I think, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take the 2 books that I'm currently reading and I'm going to take those with me so that I'm not, just coming back home and by the time I sit down and I get focused on what I'm doing and then he's texting me and he's like, I'm almost done. By the time you get here, I'll be done. And so it's just easier. And then I usually have time set aside in the afternoon to read, but if I get this reading done now, then during the afternoon reading time I can get some work done. So that was a lot of explanation, and I hope I didn't push us too far over our time, but I will probably be back in the morning unless I think of something else that I want to say. Okay, because we're showing a real day in the life and talking about how I get my reading done, I have something else to say. So today when I took my 15-year-old to the grocery store, I read almost all 50 pages that I'm reading in the Bees, Secret Life of Bees. I read almost all the 50 pages that I have to read for today. I think I have 3 pages left. And on the way there and on the way back, I listened to the audiobook of The Gentleman in Moscow. So that's how I do different kinds of reading at different times during the day. And then when I came home and I fixed my lunch and we were putting away groceries and all that stuff, well, when we were putting away groceries and I was with my family, I didn't listen to anything just so we could chat. But then when I was fixing my lunch, I was the only one in there. And so I listened to A Gentleman in Moscow. So as I was doing that and getting ready, and then whenever I'm feeding the dogs in the morning, I'm listening to whatever the audiobook is. So that's just another way that I get a lot of audiobook in. Also, I spent way too much time listening to this candle. I got this candle this weekend at on the girls' trip to the lake, and it's the loudest thing I've ever heard. I've had wood wick candles before, but they've never been that loud. So I'm about to leave, even though that wasn't on my schedule for today, but my older son reminded me that we need to go to GameStop and finish paying for the pre-order for the new Star Wars Lego video game that's coming out tomorrow. And so he and I are going to run up there. Well, every time I'm in the car with him, I do 2 things. So I will put my one headphone in and wait and see, is this going to be a talking ride or is this going to be a watching ride? Meaning, is he going to talk to me or is he going to watch videos on YouTube? So if he talks, I don't listen to my book. If he watches YouTube, then I turn my book on. That's how it works. And then I'm available and ready to talk when he's ready to talk. But I don't want to force talking. I don't know if y'all have teenagers, but they do talk a lot in the car, which is wonderful, but sometimes they don't want to. So I like to be prepared. And I'm also going to just bring the Bees book with me because I only have a few pages left to be done for today. And then when I get back, I have finished all of my work for today. It is exactly 2:00. And I have finished all the work for today, in addition to getting to read some of the book while I was at the grocery store. So I'm going to, when I come back, I will move into my favorite place to sit and read in my living room. And I'm going to read the cold cases in there. I'm going to start reading The Shadow, whatever it's called. The first book, I just wrote Shadow down in my paper so I could keep up with it. But I'm going to read both of those for a little while. There's still a few things that I have to do. And then I have my workout and my bunko tonight. So that all happens at 4:30 is when the workout starts. So I have 2.5 hours to go to GameStop and come back and read as much as I want to, really, because I don't have anything else. I do have to set up for tomorrow, but we'll do that later tonight. So that's everything, and that's how I get reading done. We believe you. That's hilarious. Okay, I'm not going to do this update as I am reading like what I have on here. I'm not going to do an hourly update, kind of like I'm doing now, but it's almost 10 minutes after 4. I have finished all of my physical book reading for the day. And so any of the rest of the time that I have to read, I'm going to be reading A Gentleman in Moscow on audio. So like driving tonight when I'm going to Bunko, back and forth from Bunko, I'm going to be listening to that. And then when I get back, I have just completed like one of those diamond art projects. So I need a new project to start over there. And I wanted to get one of my kids like little Lego sets and put it together, but we're getting ready to move. And so we're trying not to get any more Legos out until we get to Alabama. And then we're going to be redoing all of them, which you'll see if you stick around. So I think I'm just going to go to the next puzzle, whatever puzzle is next over there in my pile, and go through that and start sorting that while I'm listening to A Gentleman in Moscow tonight. But also, when I get back from Bunko, it might just be time to go upstairs to bed and read, so I don't know if I'll get the puzzle done. But if I do, there will be some clips in here. Otherwise, I really will see you in the morning. I know I keep saying that, but really this time, I'll see you in the morning. Well, good morning. I'm here to wrap this thing up, and this is what I look like and sound like when I have not had enough sleep. The last 2 nights, something is wrong with Django, and he has been waking up multiple times during the night and needing to go outside. I don't know. He's not eating anything differently, so I don't know what's wrong with him, but he already has an appointment with the vet this week, so maybe we'll fix it there. All right. Let's talk about... I didn't finish any new books yesterday, although I'm getting close on A Gentleman in Moscow. So let's talk about stats. Okay, so yesterday I read a total of 115 pages physically, and I listened to 7 hours and 20 minutes of audio. And so that brings the total to 463 pages and 21 hours and 14 minutes. I did start on The Shadow in here, but I literally read like 4 pages and that was it. And then I ran out of time yesterday. So I will be trying to get further in that book today. I saw that my book club people are already on chapter 5, which is only about page 20. It's not that far. But today is the 5th. So, tomorrow I'll finish the 2 physical books that I've been reading. So I'm at least going to finish some stuff. I should finish A Gentleman in Moscow today. I have 7 hours of listening, but at 2 times speed, that's 3.5 hours. So I should be able to find that throughout my day today. So I think that's it. I didn't finish anything, so I'm not going to wrap anything up. But if you have any questions, let me know down below because, again, tomorrow I'm going to be filming this and hopefully I will have more sleep. So I will see you tomorrow.